Hello, I'm Freddie.
I'm Matt.
I'm Ashley.
I'm Jordan.
And we didn't do the gag at all.
We didn't do the gag
Well,
at all.
you didn't.
You didn't. I was following you.
Our fearless leader.
Yeah, I totally forgot. Seconds after saying it before. Hello, I'm Freddie, and I main Rob.
Hello, I'm Matt, and I main Game & Watch.
I'm Jordan, and I main Link.
And I'm Ashley, and I mainly play other games.
And welcome to the Possible Spoilers podcast, where our combined powers of clairvoyance may or may not be enough to spoil the upcoming stories or fighting game DLCs that you're looking forward to.
Because, guys, let me tell you, I am looking forward to this one. This was honestly one of the most unexpected things I saw for this particular game, because you had the big fighter pack for Super Smash Brothers, which is what we'll be talking about today, and you had the big one, and all the fighters are coming along with it, and that was exciting, and then they just sort of dropped it on us that, oh my gosh, there's more.
There is going to be more.
And they almost treated it like a non-announcement. Like, they just kind of mentioned it, like, oh yeah, this is a thing.
That's something people might want.
Yeah.
We could probably make more money off of this.
You like more fighters? Oh, that? Okay, fine.
We've got Sakurai chained to a desk. It's fine.
I'm sorry, legally we have to call that retainer, I suppose. But
It's okay. We feed him twice today and let him out. He gets 5 minutes of outside time.
It's a very liberal use of the word free on freelancer.
But yeah, this one was exciting to me. Now, again, I think they've surprised me so much with the fighters they've included and the stuff they've done so far that when they announced this next one, I was completely at a loss for, like, what else can they even do? Like, what other characters could they possibly cram into this already remarkable roster? So, and that is what brings us to our episode today.
That's what we're here to talk about, is
Absolutely.
how many characters can we fit into this game.
By the end of it, we'll have a whole entirely different fighting game.
I mean, if I have anything to say about it, we will. Because I was the opposite. I have a lot of ideas.
All right, so Freddie, what's your first idea? What's the you have a lot of ideas, so I feel like you should lead us off. Who's the fighters? Who are we going to see in this next roster?
I think I should preface by saying that I came up with some rules because there's even more that I wanted to say than I wrote down. But I had to limit myself. I limited myself. One, I did not include any Sony characters. I mean, as much as I would love Sony exclusive characters like Astro Boy, Kratos, Norman Reedus. As much as I would love seeing those characters in Smash, I feel like it's probably not going to happen because of Sony's track record of not playing nice. So I didn't include those. I did include Microsoft characters based on what we've seen so far.
I know who that one is.
I also avoided characters based on their own rules that did not originate in video games. So I didn't say anybody who was not originally from a game. So no Iron Mans or Gokus in the words of Sakurai.
Oh, come on.
And that's where my heart broke, because Goku could never be in Smash.
I think that's all my rules. I kind of avoided first-party Nintendo characters as well. With maybe one exception, because I noticed that they have been. So
yeah,
I would just like to quickly say that I didn't follow any of these rules when putting together my roster. So
well, variety is the spice of life. So I'll start off with what I consider to be my two most boring ideas.
Mm-hmm.
At some point, I feel like these have to be a given. So I put them together, though. So I put down, firstly, Spyro and Crash. Ooh. Spyro the Dragon and Crash Bandicoot feel like they have to at some point, because they're the platforming heavyweights. I mean, they're the most often compared to Mario and Banjo and other platforming characters.
Yeah, true. It's true.
But and other icons like Mega Man too. So
yeah, we already have Mega Man. And,
yeah, that's a good point.
And these are like the last two, I think, big legends,
Yeah.
But the thing, pardon.
No, I was just gonna say, I think you're absolutely right. In terms of like the platformers of yesteryear that absolutely rule the console wars of that time. I think you're absolutely right. Those are the only ones that seem like they're left. Like, because again, we do have the other big ones. Obviously, Mario is at the forefront, but then you also have like Banjo, who just come out. So I think you're right. It would make total sense that these are the only two that are left that in terms of the heavy hitters that we haven't seen yet.
Yeah, the legends. But here's the deal. It's so I almost tried to write them down because it's almost such a given, almost such a boring idea that I've decided to put them together into one character.
Oh boy.
So I think Spyro and Crash would come out as one character, except like kind of like Pokemon Trainer, where you swap between them. Except instead of Pokemon Trainer in the background, we have Activision.
You have Activision.
We have
Just swapping
Activision
between these
holding
two
them by a
IPs.
short leash made of money.
You know, this seems like it's actually we have delved into the actual history of these two IPs in terms of what actually happened.
Because I avoided Sony characters, which these two, used to be, but
Yeah.
they're also the two like ex Sony exclusives, or
Indeed.
two ex Sony mascots.
So what would this duo? What kind of moves could we expect?
Well, down B would switch between Spyro and Crash, and you have some dude in a suit in the background holding them by a short leash made of money, like I said. I think Spyro's, side B would have to be kind of like a charge.
Oh yeah.
Mhm.
Like
Banjo-esque, maybe.
Yeah, Banjo-esque or Yoshi-esque or Wario. You kind of have to be careful
Yeah. Okay.
and not go
Let's
off
see that.
either edge of the screen. His neutral B would be like a fire, like his fire, and I think it would be a really short range but really strong.
That makes sense.
Crash, I think, I'm not sure. I don't know as much about Crash. I just recently played it for like the first time.
So he spins, and
Yeah, the spin would definitely one of them. You're right.
I think he slides.
Yeah,
like
sliding.
kind of like a baseball slide.
Mm-hmm. Almost
And
like
then,
a
of
Captain
course-
Falcon one.
Like he jumps up and he kind of belly flops into the ground.
Oh,
Yes.
So that would be a part of it.
His up B that could be his down smash, the belly flop.
Mhm.
And his up
Yeah.
B would have to be like something like a springy box. Like he'd have one of those up Bs that drops an item on somebody on
Yes.
some poor fool's
Yeah.
head.
Yeah, and he's just bouncing up off that bouncy box, collecting the Wumpa fruit.
Yeah, something with Wumpa fruit too. I'm sure they come up with something where he's got like a limited number of Wumpa fruit to do something with. That seems to be a favorite on the DLC characters.
Yeah, very limited options. Yeah, okay.
In his final smash, he could whip out microtransactions when you least expect it.
Just put on a pair of rose-colored lenses and go to town.
Your opponent has to pay $5.99 or they lose the match instantly.
Everyone's scrambling. No, not this one. With their credit cards.
It's too real.
It's too real. The only way to fix it.
But yeah, that's Spyro and Crash. What other ideas have you guys got?
Okay, so I went with you. I'm kind of like, okay, there's just the obvious one, and I almost feel cheating to even throw this one out. I feel like I'm going to take it from literally every person here. It's Waluigi. If they don't put him in now, Nintendo is literally avoiding him to spite us and everyone else on God's green earth. That would be the only explanation for never putting him into this game.
And I would accept that. I would respect.
I almost would too. Like, it's almost that idea of everyone's asked for it and they have total control of just that carrot on a stick. No, oh, you want this? Oh, this is right here? Oh, too bad. And
What
I feel
is
like
the
they could
appeal?
The memes, I guess. I
think the memes, I think it's transcended beyond the sum of its parts. It's not about Waluigi anymore. It's just about this idea of him being in the game. Now, I get it. He is the only brother that's not in there. You have Mario, Luigi, Wario. It makes sense to have Waluigi in there, so again, just to sort of complete it. But, Freddie, I'm with you. I almost kind of like the idea of not closing that circle, of just letting it sit for all eternity.
That's what I like.
Like, what? What is even Waluigi? Because he's never had his own game. He's only been in mostly the spin-offs. I'm just curious of, like, do you have a moveset, Matt, or a couple of things in mind?
See, as I was even thinking about a moveset, I feel like he would just fall into, like, the rest of the brothers. I feel like he would be... All right, so the way I thought of it is like Luigi on crack. So he's going to have this basic moveset, but he can jump higher, move faster, and hit further away because just the size of his character, like what he would look like. I think he'd be an absolute pain to fight against. So that's why I'm moving to never have him in here. But I feel like it's one of those. It's the Schrodinger's cat of fighters for this game. He both exists and doesn't exist, and until you actually see him on the roster, there's no way to know which one it is. The way that the memes have made him out, it's just remarkable.
Wasn't he originally in Mario Tennis?
That's where he originated, like in Mario sports games.
It might be neat if he had like a racket or something.
Well, his assist trophy, he charges forward and bashes with a tennis racket, I believe.
Oh.
Well, there have been a ton of Mario sports games. It would be cool if he could rep all of the sports games.
He could just straight have a rifle from the skeet shooting in the Olympics games.
Okay, you've sold me. Waluigi with a gun, give it to me. I want that.
Joker did it.
So maybe the idea is to just take Waluigi and make him nothing like the character these people have expected to have in the game, and that's who we get. It's like, fine, you want him? Here.
Oh my god, it's a super grim, dark reimagining of Waluigi.
He's just a snake echo fighter.
He's got like an eye patch.
Explosive.
Smoking a cigar.
He pulls out the cigar and just goes, wah, and then just shoots you in the face. Just slowly, pensively.
Like, cigar burns an enemy is one of his attacks.
That does kind of. I did remind myself of something, Matt, where if you're if Waluigi gets in, that means assist trophies can get in, which means my already large list doubles in size.
Oh yeah, same here.
That's true. That's a good point.
Because if I could have Shovel Knight, Spring Man, Zero, anybody else who's an assist trophy, then I would absolutely love to have them.
Yes.
Because it's a tragedy to me that Spring Man is an assist trophy.
Yeah, that was my concern when I first saw all those assist trophies. It's just like, oh man, like to me it almost felt like, okay, this means they're not a fighter. And I'm with you. I saw some of them and I'm just like, oh my gosh, no, I really was hoping that like eventually somewhere down the road this could be real. But
yeah, like that kids from Sin and Punishment, like so many people, their assist trophies I'd love to have as fighters. Me and my brother, before the game even came out, we had this theory that they were going to have a mode where you could play as assist trophies, and that was a silly thing to think was going to happen because it certainly didn't happen.
All right, so Jordan, I feel like so me and Freddie have talked about obvious ones. So Jordan and Ashley, do you guys have one that's just like you feel like should be super obvious, that should happen, should exist in the game?
I mean, I have one that I feel like is both obvious and not obvious at the same time. And like the way that development has gone on, it's Sora from Kingdom Hearts.
Yeah.
And Sora has had such an odd like relationship with Nintendo because originally a PlayStation game or a PlayStation 2 game, and then it jumps to Nintendo, and like half of the franchise is split across Nintendo handhelds. So yeah, Sora from Kingdom Hearts I think would be that would really like round things out for me. It's like, whoa, that's unexpected.
Yeah, but if we can have Kingdom Hearts characters, then I really want Goofy as the Smash Fighter, or I'll never be happy. If we open that door, it's kind of like the Smash Fighters. We're going all the way. We're going to step through that door and enjoy all the land of milk and honey.
We have to let in every Disney character.
Exactly.
I'm cool with that.
That raises the question, if they put Sora in the game, would they have to very carefully kind of like cut out any mention of Disney from him as a character?
Oh boy.
Because because I mean at that point,
does he have any
licensing gets weird? Like
as a character at all, he doesn't have anything that's.
I'm thinking about like his Mickey necklace.
No, I think it's just the.
Oh, it's the crown, isn't it? I thought it was
crown.
Mickey's. Why did I think it was Mickey's head? But his attacks, like he does all these summons and stuff. It'd be a shame not to be able to see those, like summoning like Mushu, like and shooting fireballs and stuff.
Yeah.
Summoning Mushu. And Eddie Murphy came back for one last hurrah. So kind of assist trophy in Super Smash Brothers.
Well, now we can get into the podcast of just guessing what all the assist trophies would be for Sora.
Oh my gosh.
Mushu, Simba, Genie, Moana, I don't even know, Ariel.
Yeah, Sora would be so tricky because you'd end up with characters who did not originate in video games. It's just one of their rules. But as part of a main character.
I could see Sora himself. I could see that.
Yeah, like Jordan said, it's almost got to be obvious, at this point.
Yeah, well, Sora originated in the game. He was originally a Kingdom Hearts character.
And because, really, in my opinion, what Smash Brothers needs is one more flipping sword character. That's really what this game is missing.
It's not a sword, it's a Keyblade.
I beg your pardon. That's what this game has been missing.
Also, you're going to love my list, Matt.
I swear, if you have one more Fire Emblem character on there, we will boot you from the podcast.
It's not a Fire Emblem character. That makes you feel better.
It doesn't.
Oh, wait, no, never mind. It was a Fire Emblem character. I looked at my list wrong.
Oh, God. It's Fire Emblem. Okay, we're going to end the call, and we'll be back.
That does remind me of another obvious one I think I have, or it seems obvious to me. It could just be, I could be biased. But another one I think is almost a given because I've been playing a lot of Astral Chain.
Yeah.
And the main character of that game seems almost like a given to me.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, now again, with it feels like it would be with the relationship they have with obviously Bayonetta and her involvement in the game, and then the new Bayonetta being a Switch exclusive, and that being the same studio, it would make sense to keep plugging away at that kind of involvement.
Yeah, and Platinum, Kamiya, right? Hideki Kamiya, that's a Platinum guy.
Mm-hmm.
He said people have asked him, is Astral Chain going to be on another console? And his response was, well, you might as well be asking for Donkey Kong to be on another console. So it's clear that in their mind, Astral Chain is a Nintendo thing.
That's cool though. Yeah, interesting.
That's interesting.
The reason that I hesitate is because in that game you play as either an anime sword boy or an anime sword girl.
I love it already.
I will say that it's not technically a sword, okay? It's a baton. It just happens to look and behave a lot like a sword.
Like a police baton?
Police baton, because it's basically like anime police.
Yeah. So it like slices people in half or something.
No. There's a lot of whacking. But
I'm now thinking of Sora's Keyblade, where it's not sharp at all, but he's just slicing and dicing all the time with it.
There is a scene where Sora cuts like 18 buildings in half with a
it seems very sharp for something that has no sharp edges.
It's the power of friendship. That's all you need.
Yeah.
And Disney's money. Oh, I just looked it up,
Mostly
Freddie.
Disney's money.
It was published by Nintendo, so that might lend credence to your theory here.
Astral Chain was?
Yeah, it's a Nintendo was the publisher.
I gotta say, that character would have a really cool moveset if he was in, or he or she, depending on who you play the game as. Because you don't know.
Are they distinct characters, or is it is it kind of like Fire Emblem Robin, where like they're the same character, just different genders?
The game's kind of weird because there's twins, and you choose to play as the boy or the girl twin, and then whoever you aren't has a speaking role as a character in the game, and I think they behave the same no matter who they are. So it affects the game very little who you choose to play as, but definitely there would be alternate costumes for the boy and girl versions.
Yeah, kind of like Robin.
Yeah, and if you're not familiar with the game, whoever you play as becomes this kind of police officer who has the ability to control these chimeras. They're basically demons. And over the course of the game, I think you get like 5 of them, and they're leashed to you by a chain. And not only do the demons can you attack with them, but the chain itself is you use as a weapon. Like you wrap enemies up in it. You can slingshot enemies with it. So I think there's a lot of potential there with the different characters and the chain to be cool for cool movesets in Smash.
Because what I really need to see now that you have described all this is I need someone to take that chain, wrap it around Kirby, and launch him into the stratosphere. Like there's nothing that would bring me more joy at this point than to see that move. Just yeet him to the hitbox. It'd be great.
Now, there are chimeras that have swords, so they would be anime sword boys.
Anime Sword Boys. That would be their name in the game, too. Anime Sword Boy, number 1.
Speaking of, not to double back here, but speaking of anime sword boys, I don't necessarily want to talk about this character very much. But I definitely feel like Edogard from Fire Emblem Three Houses might be coming to Smash.
It would make sense with that brand new game coming out, and they haven't really, to their credit, I'm giving them a hard time. It's been a long time since we've seen like a brand new Fire Emblem character, I believe.
I was thinking about this. The reason that I'm thinking, if it's not Edogard, I think someone from Three Houses is coming. Every Smash game has had a new character from Fire Emblem in it since Melee.
That's true.
So like we had Marth and Roy in Melee, Ike in Brawl, Roy and Robin came back for Smash 4, and then we got Chrom in Ultimate.
That's true. It's a good point.
So I expect another Fire Emblem character.
Yeah.
For I haven't played Three Houses. I just haven't gotten it yet. But Edogard does use an axe, so that's kind of not, it's technically a weapon, but it's a little bit different than a sword. But I kind of expect something from Three Houses, so that was one of my picks as well.
Chirp, chirp.
That's all I got to say about Edogard.
Yeah,
Well, no.
I think she's coming. Or someone from Three Houses is gonna make it into Smash.
I'm gonna let that silence roll because Jordan, here's why. 1, I think you're absolutely right. 2, I think we're approaching a point where nobody cares. Like at some point, it is such a given that new Fire Emblem characters and new sword people, and it's just like, okay, like what's okay, like what now?
Yeah.
I think that might be, if there ever was a fatal flaw for Super Smash Bros., that would have to be it. Is they tend to get a little comfortable. Now, again, they're willing to push those boundaries just a little bit, like with Banjo-Kazooie. But my next pick, I think they're really going to push it even more when they inevitably introduce Bowsette into the roster, into the lineup for Future Smash fighters. So we're going to play a game here, and the game is, what would Bowsette's fighting style be? What would that look like?
Shudder to think. I mean,
Shudder on, but it's going to
based on the art I've seen, nothing appropriate.
Oh, nothing age appropriate. No, this will push it into a different ESRB rating. There is no doubt.
It's now adults only.
It's adults only. Smash.
I mean, my first thought is like Bowser throws axes or hammers in the first Mario Brothers. I'd like to see that represented. That's just like a throwback.
With Bowsette. Very nice.
Yeah.
So you can just throw memes at you.
Just throw memes.
For real though, Bowsette would like break the internet. Like if they made that canon. I mean, technically it's already canon. They canon as the idea. Confirmed
it's canon. And here's what's going to make it worse. 1, I believe that Bowsette's going to come, and 2, I believe that she's going to arrive before Waluigi. Because why wouldn't she? I mean, at this point, they're going to listen to the internet. But we're going to prove to you, kind of like going back to what Freddie said, that we're going to do it our way. We're in charge here. Like, I'm the captain now.
I love this idea of the reverse slippery slope. We're going to the biggest extreme first and then bringing it back to something that's more likely.
I'm right. Because, of all the things that they could do, technically, Bowsette could be. I'm just saying. I'm just asking questions.
I mean, for me, reason went out the window when Piranha Plant became a fighter. Because
that's kind of where I'm coming from.
Because Smash has like dumb stuff in it, like Ice Climbers. They haven't even made a new Ice Climbers game yet. Like, who cares? But Piranha Plant is literally like generic Mario enemy number 2. Like, it's the second enemy in the first game. So
I mean, now we really need a Goomba.
It's true.
I will not play the game until there's a Goomba.
There's going to be a Goomba strike. One person on the planet. Nintendo's like, who is this?
And everyone else is like Waluigi, and I'm just the 1% Goomba.
Now I'm just dreaming of a Goomba whose up B is just sprouting into a big Goomba tower.
Yes.
Maybe you just play as Goombas. As long as one of you is alive, you haven't lost a stock yet.
Oh, that sounds horrible.
So you make a tower, and the top one survives, so you still have your stock. Consciousness is just spread throughout many Goombas.
I'm gonna put that on an Instagram photo. Consciousness is just spread throughout many Goombas. That's gonna be an Instagram photo before this is over.
We are Legion.
That Goomba's gonna have like some serious trauma after everything that every Goomba in Mario has experienced.
They're all connected. So like every time someone boots up the game and plays as Goombas, they're all connected and they all remember what happened to every other one of them. Every death, every victory.
That's probably why in the first Mario they walk back and forth all normal. By the time Mario 64 rolls around, they see you and they charge.
Because they know. They've seen this mustachioed man with a red hat destroy their previous generations.
For no reason. We were just walking.
He stomped on my grandfather's head. Never forgiven him.
We're almost through the ones that I think are possible, and I also just have a self-indulgent wish list. And the top of my self-indulgent wish list has always been Travis Touchdown.
Oh my gosh.
No More Heroes, one of my favorite games.
I've never played No More Heroes, but that would actually be really cool.
Cool.
But my hope for him as a character is that they would not change his language. Because if you don't know about No More Heroes, the very first words this character ever speaks in the very first No More Heroes game are
out of the gate swinging.
Yeah, he comes out of the gate calling somebody I feel silly like saying the first letter of the word, but this is a family podcast, of course. But he and I just hope that if they put him in the game, they wouldn't censor his language at all. He would continue to be perverted and swear just as much. I mean, as long as Bowsette's going to drive it up to an M-rated game, we might as well have Travis Touchdown.
Only if Bowsette is in it, then they'll agree to do that.
They might as well have Travis Touchdown cutting people in half and dropping F-bombs.
Suplexing them.
But because it's Nintendo, it'll have like some kind of like option in the settings where it's like you can turn on or off the swearing, so it could still be kid friendly.
Exactly.
He's just like fart head, and that's even that. No, that's too adult for Nintendo.
Yeah, no, it would be
Fluff head.
You fluff head.
You Goomba.
Oh man.
But again, we're back to the anime sword boys because he is technically anime and technically a sword boy.
I think that's all we want. It's more swords.
Well, while we're on the topic of anime sword boys, since that seems to be what this podcast has evolved into.
I think that's the second time that Jordan has used that segue.
As
long as we're on anime sword boys.
I'm getting over it. I feel bad for this next one because I feel like no one's gonna know what I'm talking about here. There's an RPG series named Tales of. I don't know if anyone's familiar with it at all. The Bandai Namco is still like helping make Smash. They have a new game coming out, Tales of Arise. And the main characters from that would actually be kind of cool in Smash because from the trailers it looks like they've got this weird dynamic where the main female character Shion has like healing magic but no one can touch her or they get hurt, and the main male protagonist can't feel pain. So he's like borrowing her power to use like this super cool flaming sword, and then she apparently heals him because the sword like literally like damages him. So I was thinking like a character where you swap back and forth between that could be kind of cool. Like you deal a lot of damage when you're the guy, but you're also taking constant damage, kind of like if you have a flower on your head. Then you go back to her and kind of, she's more long range focused. So
no, I know nothing about that series, but that does sound like a very fun moveset and something that would definitely fit with kind of how they've structured some of their fighters already.
Oh yeah, it wouldn't be a Smash DLC fighter if it wasn't really overly complicated.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, like for me, Hero and like Joker kind of changed all that because like those characters are nothing like anything else in the game. So
if you switch to the girl, the healing abilities girl, what would your health start? Would you start healing?
That would actually be kind of interesting. So you could maybe have this thing where like you're like managing your damage percent. So maybe when you switch to the guy, like you have to really make it count. Maybe your damage like rockets up really fast. So it's kind of like a really boom or bust character. I don't know, because we don't know that much about the game right now. It just got announced a couple of months ago, I think. But everyone in the community has been wanting a Tales of character because Bandai Namco has been involved with the production of it.
It would make
Also,
total sense.
Unrelated to anything, this wasn't even on my original list. I would like a Dark Souls character as well. That would fit in pretty well with Smash.
I was thinking that earlier. It would probably be Solaire if they were to do something like that.
Yeah. Or Artorias. I could see maybe Artorias as well.
Or maybe one of those big grotesque bosses.
I like the idea of the big boss.
Yeah, I want to see the one that like scoots his butt on the ground and just crawls around with his feet.
That describes like half of the bosses in the Souls.
Yeah, he smashes you with his. I don't know much about Dark Souls. All I know is I've seen a really gross boss that smashes you with his butt and crawls around with his feet.
I only have one request, and that would be every time someone flies off the stage, it just like the screen would go black with red letters, go "You died," and then go back to the game.
Oh
That could
man,
be an attack.
that would be a great final Smash. Yeah.
Wouldn't that be great?
Oh man.
Now I want it. I didn't before we started, but now I want it. We're getting dark. We're getting serious. I'm going to bring us back to one that I think could absolutely happen. Doesn't have to, but there is some precedent. So still be absolutely off the wall, but there is some possibility that something would line up here. And I think that would be one of the Rabbids from Raving Rabbids.
No, I can see that.
Yeah.
I like that. Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
I didn't think about that before, but the more I looked, I'm like, wait a minute, this would actually fit really well.
Are they technically Rayman characters or?
You know, I'm not sure of how the IP works because they started out as Rayman characters, but they very quickly eclipsed whatever Rayman hoped to be.
Yeah.
And very much became their own thing. But since they do have that good relationship with the Mario Rabbids game, I just got to thinking that would actually be a lot of fun. So I think it'd just be a general character that's just absolutely off the wall.
Well, that already, because they had like Mario, like the Mario people versus Rabbids. I would love that. It's just their costumes. Like it's the Rabbids that dressed up as different Mario characters.
Oh, absolutely.
Mostly for the
thinking the same
Rabbid
thing.
Princess Peach. Like,
I want a Rabbid Princess Peach amiibo now. That would be wonderful.
oh my God, Rabbid Luigi, but it's the only Luigi in the game. Or Waluigi, I mean.
Oh, we've come full circle. Rabbid Waluigi is the only Waluigi in the game. It's the most amazing thing.
I can see the final Smash of that being kind of it would either be a parody of Mega Man's where like a bunch of people come in and shoot, because in the Mario v Rabbids they have the gun, the arm cannons, so they could jump in and fire. Or I could see the Rabbid Donkey Kong jumping in and doing something
Oh yeah, it's true.
as like a final Smash.
Oh, definitely. Yeah, I feel like there's just so many ways you could go with that in terms of just being because again, that's their whole thing, is that they're just absolutely these insane little characters. Who knows what they could come up with? Like, there are no rules. This is one in terms of a move list. It could be just about anything you could dream up based on the character and still be absolutely fit within the feel of Super Smash Brothers.
Yeah.
We do know there'd be something underpants related if it's Rabbids.
Without a doubt. I'd be disappointed if there wasn't.
Their side B's like an underpants slingshot or something.
It's where they launch another Rabbid at the character. Almost like a Pikmin type deal.
That does remind me that I did not write down Rayman, but he seems like such an obvious choice. I mean, he's even got a spirit in the game.
It's true. It's very true.
I love the Rayman Legends and Rayman Origins. Those two kind of cel-shaded ones. Those are
amazing.
Those are two really great games that don't get a ton of attention. So let's get violent and mature again.
Get violent and mature again.
Does Marcus Phoenix from Gears of War technically count as an anime sword boy?
Yes.
I think he's the furthest away from anime sword boy you can get.
Well, he has a chainsaw.
That's what I was thinking.
I want someone to now draw that in an anime sword boy form.
He has a chainsaw gun.
Jeez, Marcus Phoenix.
Well, as long as we're continuing the relationship between Nintendo and Microsoft that they've had going with Banjo, then like Master Chief and Marcus Phoenix. Matt knew from the beginning that I was going to say this.
I knew it.
But I can see there being really cool movesets on both of these characters.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Master Chief especially. I know they have a thing about guns unless it's Joker. For some reason he gets a pass. But like Master Chief has lots of things that aren't really, inappropriate level of gun.
That always comes up in discussions. I feel like they're getting less bothered by that because Bayonetta and then Joker especially.
Yeah.
And even Joker's reveal trailer explicitly said, like, I think he's got a gun or something. One of the Persona characters said that.
Oh yeah, is that even legal? I think a character says something along the lines of that.
And they put it up on the screen like the name of the attack is just gun.
Just gun.
Just gun.
So like Persona 5's weird because they explain it in game as like it's not a real gun, it's a toy gun that just happens to work in the metaverse, the like mind world. But like Smash just straight up calls it a gun. So I feel like it wouldn't be that much of a stretch for Marcus Phoenix to have like whatever kind of battle rifle or whatever.
Like the Lancer. The Lancer is the rifle with the chainsaw from Gears. And then Chief could have all kinds of like crazy alien weapons. I think Chief would definitely for his forward B would be like a Spartan laser.
Mm.
Which if you've played the game, it's just a giant like shoulder mounted. It's basically like an orbital cannon that you hold on your shoulder. And you have to hold the button for a second or for a few seconds before it'll fire. So you got to really time it. And I think it could be the same in Smash, an overbee that charges up, but it wouldn't save the charge like Samus or Hero or other characters that have charge projectiles. It would you'd have to be pretty sure that you were going to do it at that point.
Make a commitment.
I think his neutral B could just be like the needler, and if you needle an enemy enough, then they explode like they do in the game. Because the way the needler works in Halo, if you don't know, is that it shoots these crystals into the enemy, and once they have so many crystals like stuck in them, they explode. Which that's less violent than a real gun, sure. And I think his regular old A attacks, like his smash attacks, would be the sword, the staple from Halo, the elite sword. It's just like a laser weapon or a laser blade. I don't know how to say it.
So I think we need more characters from Banjo-Kazooie. And the one that I propose is Jinjo.
Remind me, which one is Jinjo?
Jinjos are the little colorful creatures that you collect.
Little birds?
Yeah, that's like Jinjo. Does that ring a bell?
Yeah, because they're in Banjo's Final Smash in
Oh, they are.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. And what do they do?
It's like the final boss of Banjo-Kazooie, the original final boss, where you break the statue.
Okay. Well, that was my idea.
Oh, well, I mean, we could have what if the Jinjo does it? What if you have a Jinjo that
it's called the Jinjonator, and I thought that would be the Jinjo's final smash.
What if
the Jinjonator?
What if the Jinjo just had a Banjonator final smash?
There we go.
Like that's Banjo does the same thing.
Oh man.
Mirror fighters.
Yeah, forget Echo Fighters. Now we're just doing Mirror Fighters. There's a whole host of characters. It's the polar opposites of other characters. You can play as a hammer that swings an ice climber around.
That'd make me so much happier.
You play as a sword that swings an anime boy around.
Yes.
An anime boy sword.
Mm-hmm.
As long as we're doing reversals, man, I'm just killing it with the segues tonight. As long as we're doing reversals, everybody thinks the Ring Fit lady is going to be in, the girl from the Ring Fit game that Nintendo's putting out. If you're not familiar, it's Nintendo's new.
Oh yeah, their fitness venture.
Yeah, their new fitness venture where you squeeze a ring.
Yes.
For exercise.
And you get freaking swole.
Yeah, it stars what can only be described as a Super Saiyan in yoga pants.
I'm sold already. I'm literally wearing a Goku shirt right now. So.
She's got the flamey hair and everything, and she uses the ring con, which is the peripheral, She uses it in the game as a weapon, and everybody thinks she could either be. Everybody thinks she could either be her own character or an Echo Fighter of Wii Fit Trainer.
I just want to say I like this idea, but is it weird to anyone else that they didn't use Wii Fit Trainer for this game? Like they just have Wii Fit Trainer sitting around and they didn't use that character for this new fitness game?
I guess Ring Fit seems like it's meant to be
something else, I guess.
Yeah, more of an adventure game that you use fitness to play rather than a fitness-centered game.
I like the look of that game because it looks like an RPG meets a fitness game, which sounds like a terrible idea, but it looks really fun.
We are going to trick these obese Americans into getting fit. So what do they want? They want anime boys. They want adventures.
Figure it out.
Well, here's the deal.
We have made a deal with the American government to reduce obesity, and we will do it.
Listen, there is nothing you want. There is nothing scarier than an infit anime fan. That is world-ending power right there.
Just wake up like
Naruto.
Spider-Man.
Were they Naruto running on the ceiling?
Yeah. Speaking of that Area 51 raid,
I know where you're going.
Oh, that was the entire. I had nothing else to say after that.
No.
I was waiting for the punchline.
No, here's the punchline. This is Jordan's. I won't take this from him. We're gonna have the Naruto runner in Smash. I was gonna say.
See, I thought you were gonna say like little green alien in Smash or something.
Naruto
runner. Might as well have all the memes.
Let's have all the memes.
To bring it back to the
Moveset, not Waluigi, and Naruto runner.
To bring it back to the reversal theme, I don't think Ring Fit Trainer will be in the game. I think they're going to put in Drago. And if you've seen the trailer, Drago is that game's final boss. And he's my favorite final boss I've seen in a Nintendo game because he's just a super swole dragon.
I'm going to the Google machine.
He's just a total Chad of a dragon.
Total Chad.
And I want to see him as a playable character more than the Ring Fit because he's just a complete and total like lunkhead. And that's why I want to see him because I want to see his final smash where he just sets off the lunk alarm at Planet Fitness. And the employees come and throw you both out.
Well,
okay,
I don't
wait a second. Is he wearing like a leotard?
He is. He's just a dude you'd see at the gym in dragon form.
All Chads do.
He looks like a dragon. He looks like a Dragon Quest character. Like that's crazy. Okay, well yeah, I'm sold on this. Give him to me.
I just want to have a quick aside here because I don't know how you spelled it, but I typed in Drago Ring Fit and I came up with images of Dolph Lundgren, and now I just want Dolph Lundgren in Smash. So, I don't exactly know how you got there, but my Google decided I need to see that man.
Yeah, I've kind of got a weird thing going with buff dudes with Drago and Marcus Phoenix.
Well, while we're talking about really buff, really tough guys here, I keep seeing this one on the internet, and at first I was like, that's a dumb idea. And then the more I thought about it, I'm like, that's a really fun idea, which is Doom Guy.
Oh, the ultimate buff guy.
Yeah,
ultimate buff guy.
Doom 2016 was like such a cool, fun reimagining of the Doom game. I would love to see Doom Guy in Smash. Like, I don't know how that would work because, I mean, you talk about violent, but...
Just picks Toad up and rips him in half.
Dude, I mean, they've already played around with that. They're, like, canonically, by the Smash trailers, they're like 3 dead characters by now, right?
That's a good point.
So, Doom Guy just, like, ripping and tearing his way, like, through a Toad would be... unreal.
Well, especially with Doom Eternal coming out, he could use that wrist-mounted chain weapon.
Yeah, because that's on Switch, right? Like Doom came to Switch,
That's
right?
true. That's a good point.
So
I believe Doom Eternal is coming to Switch.
There is precedent.
And I love Doom Guy because he's got so much character. He's like Link. For a character that doesn't speak a word, Doom Guy is such a fun character.
Yeah, he's the video game equivalent of a barbarian from D&D.
Yeah.
And he still has a personality.
Yeah, his personality is just complete and total no nonsense.
Annihilation.
Well, there's a great scene in Doom 2016 where like he sees all this death and destruction around him from the demons, and like the main story quest guy is like giving him instructions, and he just like clenches his fist and punches the screen away.
And then the heavy metal starts.
And then the heavy metal starts, and you know what? Between anime and heavy metal, that's all I want in Smash. That's all I need.
Jordan Owens, 2019.
Yep. You can quote me on that every day of the week. Like, I want that on my tombstone when I die.
So I bet you have Dante on your list.
I don't, but
you
please
don't.
Tell me he's on yours.
He is not on my list. I forgot.
I mean, I would love Dante in Smash. Because Freddie and I have talked about this. By the way, if there's anyone out there who has not played Devil May Cry 5, go play Devil May Cry 5 right now. Because
that's me. I haven't played it, but I want to.
Okay, Matt, go on Amazon right now.
I'll do it.
Or go to your local video game retailer.
Okay, cool. Can you give me your credit card number real fast?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, cool.
I'll buy it for you.
On this public forum.
Yeah.
Yeah, just in chat.
It'll be
share
1,
with
2,
everybody.
3, 4, 5, 6. But like, there's a scene halfway through that game where like, I was like beyond happy with Dante. Like, it was.
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, because you and I have talked about it.
Yeah.
I was sitting and I had to steady myself, and we're both avoiding talking about it because I don't want to spoil it. I wouldn't.
Please don't spoil it.
I wouldn't spoil it for my worst enemy.
This is called possible spoilers, not
actual spoilers.
Not actual spoilers.
But it's just like,
if you came here for actual spoilers, then you're gonna be disappointed.
but yeah, just Dante would be another pick too. Like,
or Nero.
Or Nero, yeah. Nero might actually be cooler because of the devil. What are they called? Devil trigger? No, devil breakers.
Oh yeah, the arms.
The arms, yeah.
The arms
like,
would be different modes, kind of like Shulk's different modes.
Yeah, that would be kind of cool.
Because he has these interchangeable robotic arms in DMC5.
And I haven't finished DMC5 yet, but I just haven't had time to get back into it. But
one of which is a bunch of bananas that attaches to his arm.
Which is apparently free DLC.
It is. I did not see it until after I beat the game, and nothing is more tragic.
Oh, man.
Well, guys, I'm going to take us back into a totally different direction, because that's what I'm doing. No segues. But here's one that I think will happen, and that is going to be Goose from Untitled Goose Game.
No joke.
Heard it. You heard it here first.
I saw a write-up for that on Reddit today.
Did you really?
Yeah, someone planned out like their special moves and their final smash. And I saw that and I was kind of like, yeah, give me the Goose. That looks perfect.
Give me the Goose.
give me the Goose, anime and heavy metal. It'll be on my tombstone.
Everybody go to the Smash Brothers official Instagram and comment, give me the Goose.
Hashtag give me the Goose.
Exactly.
What kinds of moves did they have in mind for the Goose?
That's a great question.
I don't even remember. Like, none of them made sense because I think that's the entire point of the game is to not make sense.
They just terrorize humans, right?
Yeah, I think one was like you summoned a bunch of townspeople was their final smash and it just ran over everyone.
I found it. Here it is. It's a full... no, I'm sorry. Jordan, I need to correct you. It's not a write-up. It's a full daggone infograph. They even have alternate skins for this Goose.
Oh, okay. That must be a different one that I saw, or like it's more detailed. But
oh my gosh. So their down B would be you summon an anti-Goose sign and counter physical hits and reflect projectiles. Neutral B would be Honk. Which causes slow damage but knockback. Just Honk.
Also, I have not played Untitled Goose Game. I swear there is a picture in the bottom left where he has a Super Saiyan aura.
Oh yeah, I'm looking at it right now. I'm sending this in chat because it's too
good. I need that. Like it's
too good.
Yeah, give me the Goose going Super Saiyan and have it voiced by Sean Schemmel.
It's amazing. Well, I would be mad that someone came up with this before me, but I'm not. This is too beautiful.
I did see a post of somebody had mocked up the Goose running towards something with the smashed envelope in its mouth, like the one they received in the trailer.
Oh, nice.
I think everybody's neutral B should be Honk.
Just Honk.
Bring back the customizable movesets and give everybody the option to Honk.
This is Freddie's campaign platform.
You heard it here first. That's the direction Smash is going in.
Give everyone the ability to honk.
A honk in every driveway, a goose in every pot.
While we're on bird themes here,
I'm loving these segues this episode.
Yeah, I mean, it's
Because
almost like
you
we
never
know what
see
we're
them
doing.
coming. Hey, while we're talking about
While we're talking about honking, Lightning McQueen.
Oh man.
McQueen.
I'm sorry, Jordan. Return back to your
No, I'm picturing Lightning McQueen just peeling into like Battlefield now.
chow.
This is a complete joke pick, by the way. Like, this would be completely stupid if it ever got in. I'm not saying I want this character to necessarily be in, but has everyone seen Surfetched, the Pokemon that was announced a while ago?
Yes.
That would kind of like be the
And
ultimate.
I totally agree with you.
Yes, because it is technically a sword boy or a sword bird.
And it is technically anime.
And it is technically anime, but it's have you seen it, Matt?
I haven't, but while we're talking about anime sword boy birds, I think we might need to bring the episode to a close. This might be the logical conclusion of this conversation. We have not just come full circle. We've hit every single data point we have in this entire episode. One segue.
Should we end with everybody giving one final prediction?
Let's do it. One final, and how about this? No qualification, no explanation. Just drop the name and where it came from, and we'll go.
Oh, now I wish I had something more ridiculous.
I have my most wanted. I've wanted a version of this character in since a long time ago. Beast Ganon from the Zelda series.
The old classic one.
Old classic.
I like it.
Link to
Zelda
the Past. Yeah, Link to the Past, like Demon King, pig form Ganon.
That's a good pick.
Nice. Mine would be one of the Pianta characters from Super Mario Sunshine.
Oh. Man.
Drop that in there.
I really want is it Il Pantissimo or something? The guy you have to race in Sunshine?
Yes. Oh my gosh.
That's
That's
the
a
guy
lot
that calls you a pokey little flab biscuit. Yeah, that would be great.
That would
His
be amazing.
undershirt.
Oh yeah.
So my most wanted is either Red from Transistor or Bastion or the kid from Bastion.
Oh yeah. Either one of those would be great.
That would be cool.
And mine would be. Has anyone here played Glover?
No.
Don't think so.
Okay, well, just look it up.
That
Glover
sounds
from
vaguely
Glover. That way you're basically a hand, so you're a little hand versus master hand. Because you're basically a glove.
Yes. Okay. I have seen this. I haven't played it, but I know what you're talking about now.
Yeah, except it'd be different
Okay.
from master hand because in the game he has a ball. And he can transform the ball like it's a bouncy ball. It's like a crystal, but he transforms it into a bouncy ball and then like a bowling ball and then other stuff. So his attacks would be this ball that you could transform into different types of balls to do different attacks.
I love it.
So I think one would just be like down B would probably just dropping the bowling ball on top of someone.
That is amazing. I would totally play that.
That
All
is
right,
like
guys.
a blast from the past, yeah.
I would name Glover.
It's like nobody's played Glover.
I'd be a Glover. I've played Glover.
I played like the first few levels, honestly.
I did too, about 20 years ago.
Yeah.
But I would still be a Glover main.
Glover main. Well, guys, this has been the Possible Spoilers Podcast. I'm Matt.
I'm Freddie.
I'm Ashley.
I'm Jordan.
And we may or may not have spoiled the next Super Smash Bros. Fighter Pack. Thank you for joining us.